welcome back in the place to be with the CBDC Asset Group. Thank you for being a part of the group.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
In this one, I highlight an example of how Ripple is making strategic partnerships simply to build and control the world's blockchain and cryptocurrency that powers it, XRP. Ripple made a $1 million gift to help the University of Michigan kickstart their fintech collaboration. The University of Michigan will have a Ripple validator on campus processing the Ripple transactions, allowing students to study the blockchain in real time live. What other company is doing this type of stuff? They're truly the leaders and the best. Here we got Ashish Burla at AshGoBlue on Twitter. He's the GM of RippleNet. And this is an example of Ripple making strategic partnerships to build their blockchain bigger and better than anyone else's and use XRP to power that blockchain. Ripple gifts $1 million to Michigan to help kickstart the fintech collaboration. As part of Ripple's University Blockchain Research Initiative, the University of Michigan received a $1 million grant for education, research in blockchain and cryptocurrency. We're going to have a Ripple validator here on campus, Wu said. That means we're going to be a part of the Ripple blockchain network, actually processing the Ripple transactions. As part of that, we're also going to build what's called stock servers for students to get involved so they can see the transactions that give them a better understanding of how the blockchain actually works, so they can see that in real time live.
Greetings from Ann Arbor, everybody. My name is Chris Mueller. I'm a professor at the University of Michigan's Ross School of Business, and I'm here with an invitation to this community of innovators to help identify solutions to pain points that minority-owned business owners are experiencing related to their point-of-sale systems. I teach a capstone consulting course for BBAs and seniors right before they graduate. And for the last handful of years, we've been working with Detroit Neighborhood Entrepreneurs Project to pair teams of students to consult with and work alongside of Detroit-owned, minority-owned businesses in Detroit. And along the way, what we've recognized is that point-of-sale systems are a gateway to data-driven decision-making. And it's a gateway that we often get tripped up over, because what we're observing is that small business owners commonly rely on free versions of software. And when it comes to point-of-sale systems, they commonly will have one point-of-sale system to manage their retail business and a different point-of-sale system to manage their e-commerce business. And what that means is those two systems don't talk to each other. So when they're switching between these, they'll lose their data, and they'll lose the data that would help them make more stronger decisions. For example, it would be common for a new customer to show up at a pop-up event, and then the business owner not be able to track whether or not that whether that customer returned to the e-commerce site and to purchase additional products. So it's impossible to be able to determine what the lifetime value of a customer might look like and how that would inform strategies moving forward for growth, or whether marketing efforts are actually producing results and resulting in new customers, let alone things like profit margins for specific products and the type of data that would be needed to be able to make those kinds of decisions. So over the summer, I led an internship program where we had multidisciplinary teams with student representatives from 4 different schools working on implementation-oriented projects for a portfolio of Detroit-based businesses. And Simone and I are here because we want to share some insights related to point-of-sale systems in the hope that some of you might be interested in building solutions to these pain points. As I describe this, I will mention that we do hope to take some questions at the end, so feel free to drop those questions into the chat as we go. If we could move forward to the 3rd slide. Thank you for that. The first insight that we discovered is that the billing really isn't very transparent with these systems. All of the point of sale systems we researched and we investigated had something like you see here on their website, promoting simple rates, no surprises. It was standard for them to have a structure that included a percentage of the transaction, a swipe fee, and a subscription fee depending on the type of product or package that the business owner was purchasing. However, that clip from the screenshot up above is the exact same point of sale system that below, when we audited the billing statement, we discovered a 3-page inventory of line-by-line billing for every different type of credit card that company received during their transactions. There was nothing simple about it. It was very opaque. It was very hard to tell how much they were actually paying for this service. And it just relied upon trusting the company. If we could flip forward to the next slide, our second insight was that the free services tended to be more expensive. And that's because within this structure of a subscription fee, a transaction fee, and the per swipe fee, the lower the subscription fee was, in many cases, the higher the transaction fee was. And so if a business was a low volume, low revenue business, then it made sense to use one of the free options. But if it was a high transaction, high volume, low revenue, like a coffee shop, then the per swipe fee is what they needed to pay attention to. And if it was a high revenue, low transaction, like perhaps a clothing retailer, then the transaction fee was the most important number. In several cases, we were able to encourage business owners to actually upgrade their service and receive more services and actually lower their monthly bill in the process. And finally, a third insight, Simone's going to take over to talk about her experience with developing inventory within these systems.
Hi, my name is Simone Turner, and I'm a senior at the School of Information. So many point of sale systems include features such as customer analytics and inventory management, as Chris touched on. But based on the experiences we had with these small business clients, we observed that business owners were paying for features they were not using. So one example of this is with the Clover point of sale system. There is an extensive inventory management system built into that Clover system, but many of our clients were not managing their inventory in that system. Instead, they were using a manual Excel spreadsheet. So on the left, you can see an example of this spreadsheet, which would include the different products they used in their coffee shop or restaurant and just the manual counts of those products. And they would be doing inventory maybe every 2 days. And this takes a lot of time and energy by the business owner. And as we can see and then moving forward, it is not only time consuming, but actually is very difficult and produces waste for business owners. And these point of sale systems offer many inventory management tools, such as real-time inventory tracking, low quantity notifications, and menu modifiers. So there are all these features available, but businesses are paying for them and not using them. So our work over the summer uncovered this additional point of sale need for training, resources, and support for these small business owners to really make sure they're utilizing the inventory and analytics features that they are paying for in order to make their business more successful.
Thanks, Simone. If we can move forward to the next slide. Through the last couple of years and this summer in particular, we've identified 3 primary real opportunities for innovation. Some of these build off of what you've just heard, but we've also seen a need and a desire for real-time payment processing. We've heard from the ground from the business owners that we support that the financial burden of increasing their inventory and staff in order to take on opportunities to do larger events, that they can't afford to carry that, even if it's for a week or 10 days until things get processed through the bank. So real-time payment processing would allow them to pursue growth opportunities and then pay their bills immediately so that they can benefit from that opportunity. No hassle transparency, the advancement of things like smart contracts to again expedite to speed up the process of being able to be paid and not waiting for invoice cycles. And finally, as Simone just described, integration of inventory management with sales. in order to save time. That this is currently a pretty cumbersome and time-consuming practice for business owners, and that the technology that is available tends to be kind of piecemealed and pieced together instead of something that could be a comprehensive solution. So with that in mind, we'll post our emails with the next slide, please, and take any questions in the chat.